Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, August 28th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5-card spread for today? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are the Wheel of Fortune in its reversal in combination with the King of Cups in its reversal. Let's walk through this energy, shall we? So, one of the things that we need to talk about is we are still navigating a very, very intense retrograde cycle. It can feel like a lot of that energetic heaviness, a lot of that intensity. Working through that to a certain capacity. It's not easy right now. And one of the things that we need to speak upon is the fact that we also see that Jupiter is in Cancer. So one of the things that we're identifying is this type of energy, and I keep on trying to define this, and this is why I'm even going to say, like, making sure that you fortify against your own sense of energetic testiness, because the energy that's in Aries makes everything, it's like hypersensitivity to things. It's like the type of energy that's like you can hear a pin drop kind of energy, and it's working through a lot of that. Now, with Jupiter in Cancer at the same time, right, we've got that hypersensitivity, and then we've got a lot of that depth of the Aries retrograding. It can create a lot of that feeling of energetic intensity. I'm going to say it right now. If working through this right now is just allowing the space by which you're grounding and allowing that grounding to kind of set your own energetic intention, that's okay. Okay, like, we don't have to activate on every single energetic cycle that we're experiencing. Because one of the things that we're identifying that is important right now is being able to identify and be adaptable while being very, very energetically consistent. I know it's not easy. And the reason I keep on saying this is I wish I could tell you that this energy is going to get easier sometime soon, but it's probably going to get more intense because we have a lunar eclipse that's coming up in just a couple weeks. And the thing with eclipse cycles is they are amplifiers. They bring that intensity to an even higher level. So our own space by which we're navigating and working through those emotions that may come up. I keep on getting, it's a lot of energetic processing. It's a lot of that space by which you're building one's own sense of comprehensiveness. I'm also seeing that this is the culmination point of a lot of those temperance relationships. Now, you'll recall that for a lot of these relationships, it is the work and the identification point of recognizing and identifying the space of mutual effort. The ability to articulate and identify what that energetic effort is, it creates the space by which we have to fortify our own intentions. Now, for a lot of these relationships that are coming together during this time, one of the things I keep on seeing is working through, it is the unified frustration that allows the space by which one is able to do something in a different fashion. I see two different modalities that are occurring right now for the energy and separation. This is either energy right now that is working on the self and the observation of like I keep on getting the recognition point of what time can and cannot heal. Time can heal the space by which we look at situations and we feel the emotionality of something that did not feel energetically proportional to something that was occurring. A lot of that reassessment point, and that's what I keep on seeing for a lot of the energy and separation, the observation of moving away from something and feeling fortified by that perspective. This is the articulation point of a lot of that healing that's occurring in those experiences, but it's not easy. It's frustrating. It's working through the frustration feelings. But I need to stress this again. If you're in separation and you're feeling energetically frustrated around a situation that would have previously energetically devastated you, that is the sign of you effectively releasing trauma, because trauma is the feeling of working through something and not necessarily understanding the context by which something is occurring versus the space of being able to have the energetic perspective. So for a lot of the energy doing that work right now, I keep on seeing that it's like It's frustrating, but it's reaffirming one's own direction. Now, for the energy and the relationships that are coming together at this time, this is what I meant about the mutual frustration that effectively fortifies energetic intention. You'll recall that for a lot of these temperance relationships, the ability of recognizing and identifying mutual effort is allowing the space by which things can begin. And I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energetic release of relief that's occurring in those experiences, because it's the observation of what one is working on, the embodied manifestation goal. Because I even see even now, for some of these relationships, the fallibility of energetic intention coming through as a result of that work. I even feel like a lot of these relationships, they're articulating to each other their own energetic frustration as it relates to, I keep on seeing like relationships that they've been let down in the observation of the difference between what one is working to release versus what one is holding on to. And that's why I keep on seeing that there's a lot of relief that is potentially coming through in a lot of those energetic connections, because it's the observation of being able to build into the space of feeling that, I keep on hearing like feeling that trust that is reaffirmed in terms of the energetic commitment of those partnerships. This brings us to a lot of the energy that is moving deeper into divine union right now. And you'll recall that these were a lot of those magician relationships that were coming together about a few months ago, between that solstice period and the time that Mercury and Venus stationed direct behind Neptune. Now, what's interesting about those relationships is we see that there's a lot of the expedience point that's occurring in those relationships, and the ability to articulate the difference between speeding something up because it is restorative to the self, because it is anchoring of the self, as opposed to working through the context of navigating circumstances or situations where, and again, the past, there may have been an expedience point that was akin to desperation. For a lot of those relationships, it feels energetically fortified, but it also feels frustrating, because I almost feel like for a lot of the energy coming into divine union, having to articulate upon the difference of the present versus the past is what's like, I keep on hearing it's a lot of energetic unpacking, but it also is also creating the space by which one is feeling energetically fortified to do that work. This is bringing us to the energy deep within divine union. I'm just going to say this right now. This type of energy deep within divine union is definitely the most difficult, because everything we keep on seeing, it's the frustration that fortifies direction. Okay. The frustration that fortifies direction is very helpful for energy that's in separation and moving deeper into divine union. But working through, when you're in deep within divine union, working through energy of this nature, it can feel like you're navigating a bunch of unnecessary static, is the best way I can describe it. Clarification between, the next card, please. Oh, we've already got it here. Yeah, we've got here the Three of Cups in its upright. So what are we seeing in relationality to working through that unnecessary static? It's, like I said, it's working through minor inconveniences. It's working through little energetic frustrations. It's working through, I even feel like it's working through the energy of those that are not navigating the retrograde as energetically well as others. It's working through the context of, I even get it's a lot of that prickliness, or a lot of that energetic pettiness. But that's one of the things that I keep on seeing that's happening right now, because it is the ability of being able to navigate prickliness with kindness is what I keep on seeing, that allows the expansion point of one's own energetic intention. So I want you to kind of remember that right now if you're going through a lot of the, for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, because it's I keep on getting, it feels like a lot of that vibration by which you're feeling extra sensitive. And I want you to also make sure that you're not in the space by which you're projecting that onto counterpart connection, but you're being introspective upon it, is what I keep on seeing. Continuing to get clarification, fourth and fifth cards in our 5-card spread right now. we've got here our nine of wands in its upright in combination with our five of our five of wands in its upright. It's like, I want to describe it as it's punchy energy is the best way I can articulate upon this energy right now. It is energetically intense and it is punchy. So it's like it creates that space by which you want to be energetically reactive to things, right? Or having a lot of that, like working through the energetic space of the self that feels very prickly. But then in the context of being able to recognize and identify that, and that's what I keep on saying, if you're just working through this energy right now and doing what is necessary to feel energetically grounded within it, that's okay too, because that is the space by which we understand that it's going to potentially amplify before it recedes. Okay. And I'm not saying that to create anxiety in you. I'm saying that because the one thing I want you to recognize is I don't want you over internalizing on this energy. And the thing about it is the quality and characteristic upon it is one that feels like the inclination to internalize, especially with a lot of that double Virgo energy that we just experienced with that new moon, right? It's a little bit of that energy that makes you feel like, or sense like, do you want to over internalize this? Like as a little treat is what I keep on seeing. Like, do you want to over internalize this as a treat? Allow it to energetically fortify you in terms of bringing forth and working through a space of compassion. Everybody's energetically feeling it. And the context by which we understand and recognize that we're all feeling it is how we energetically heal it. Okay. Continuing to get clarification between our Wheel of Fortune in its reversal in combination with our Knight of Cups in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our Queen of Wands in its reversal. So this is having, and I just need to stress this right now, and this is why I mean like this type of energetic intensity can feel like it's doing a little bit of number in terms of partnership, because especially with the Queen of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Nine of Wands and its upright, this is both, I keep on seeing like masculine and feminine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to, navigating through this prickliness. And I keep on seeing like the one thing that I want you to energetically avoid doing right now in these energetic cycles is coming into I feel like it's like remember when I said the ability to energetically over internalize is very strong. I don't want you hermiting up in energy like this is what I keep on seeing. The ability to kind of work through something is like, I keep on seeing like the ability to communicate upon it is one that allows the ability of having, I keep on seeing like feeling energetically fortified even through, and I keep on seeing like, and this is what we mean about Neptune, Saturn, and all of these planets retrograding together. And it's a little bit easier if you've been doing your shadow work, because it's like working through the anxieties or fears within the self that one is able to navigate with the space of confidence. But at the same time, I keep on seeing that for a lot of these relationships that are being built in this, that's what I meant about these relationships having such strong energetic foundations, because it's working through the anxieties and fears of the self. But rather than overly internalizing upon them, you're able to effectively energetically communicate through them. And that's what I keep on seeing that's happening in a lot of these relationships right now. It's like the hashing out, if you will, of working through something that allows something to become energetically possible. So for a lot of those relationships, this is the culmination of those partnerships, because they're not, I keep on hearing, they're not taking things personally. They're just being energetically productive. This brings us to a lot of the energy that's moving deeper into divine union right now. And that same sense, I keep on hearing that same sense of energetic prickliness is potentially resulting in what's happening in a lot of those relationships that are moving deeper into divine union. Clarification between our Knight of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Three of Cups in its upright. We have here our three, we've got double threes today. Our Three of Wands in its reversal. So let's talk a little bit about this as well, because when we've got the Three of Wands in its reversal, there's something very important to identify and recognize as it relates to helping energy outside of partnership understand the difference between expediency, because something feels like it is restorative, versus energetic expediency in relationality to experiences that felt akin to working through the space of rushing a process based or built upon desperation. This is why I keep on getting the like, that's what I mean in terms of like a lot of that chirality healing that's happening right now, because it's the observation of being able to articulate to another person potentially something that happened in the past that looks similar to where one is now, but being able to work through the energetic nuance that allows the ability to help identify what feels like it is energetically restorative versus something that was traumatizing. And this is actually how we heal trauma. For a lot of the energy right now, I'm seeing a lot of these magician relationships, like that ability of doing so, right? The ability to tell the difference is what I keep on hearing. The ability to tell the difference is, and I keep on hearing, being able to, again, communicate passion, the ability to have that energetic, impactful point and being able to derive and define meaning upon something that helps one feel energetically fortified upon it. Everything I keep on seeing there feels like it's restorative, but it's bringing back, it's like I keep on hearing, like a lot of that energy is having to work through bringing back up the past from a point of uncomfortability, but then immediately from a point of energetic confidence. Now, this brings us to a lot of the energy that is deep within divine union right now. And that is clarification between our Three of Cups in its upright in combination with our Nine of Wands in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? We have here the Seven of Cups in its upright. There is a, like, I got to point out, if you have an opportunity, make sure that you head over to the stack to be able to see the cards that we have here today. Because one of the things that we're identifying that's occurring is like these cards right now they're all cups and wands. They're all cups and wands. There's all cups and wands right now, which is it's like articulating upon the ability to speak towards something, but also in the way of being able to give it energetic meaning is what I keep on seeing, right? And I keep on getting, it's a lot of that space by which we are able to articulate and amplify upon something that feels like it's energetically impactful to us. But even in the context of being able to do so, I keep on getting it's allowing the space by which we are able to identify and recognize how we are working to become more energetically comprehensive. That's what I meant in relationality to the fact that this type of energy deep within divine union can feel more pesky. It's like really like it feels more pesky. It's like it feels more, and I just need to stress this right now. If you're deep within divine union, is not letting the peskiness of the energy upset the energetic connection, because I keep on getting when the energy feels pesky, it can create that space of wanting to project out. But when we're able to articulate and define and derive meaning upon something, I feel like that's a space by which we're able to be more energetically comprehensive. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, It's not easy. It's frustrating. It's a retrograde season. But that space as well, like I keep on getting, it's like being able to navigate the energetic intensity of something by being able to bring a level or degree of comprehensiveness to things. So that's like a little bit of the work that we're seeing that's happening right now for the energy deep within divine union. Continuing to get clarification between our 9 of wands and its upright and our 5 of wands and its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification. Ooh, coming through with the 6 of wands. Wow, that's a lot of that's a lot of wands. Is what we're energetically seeing. But this is important because, one of the things that we keep on identifying here has to do with the amplification of productive communication, the ability to articulate and refine and define upon something in such a way that one is able to find a deeper meaning upon it. Now, let's talk a little bit, for a lot of the energy that's like I keep on seeing, like this is the culmination of a lot of those temperance relationships. Why are we seeing a lot of that culmination in those temperance relationships? Because I feel like this is the space by which the energy is articulating to one another the relief that they energetically feel, as opposed to experiences where I keep on hearing the difference between someone articulating upon their intention to heal versus their embodied manifestation, right? And I keep on hearing it's easy to articulate upon something. It's easy to speak upon it. But I keep on seeing that the intensity or the calibration by which a lot of that energy felt like working through the context of the retrograde, the past coming back towards another, either energetically, tangibly, or spiritually, and being able to articulate upon the intention of the self. I keep on hearing that for a lot of those relationships that are coming together right now, it's being able to breathe a sigh of frustrated relief. Now, for the energy that's still in separation, working through situations like this, I keep on seeing that is the sense of feeling strong within the standards of the self, because I keep on hearing that that's the reaffirmation of what time can and cannot heal. Because when someone moves away from us without the ability of being able to articulate upon something that we feel energetically emotional about, the importance of being able to speak towards it, and they come back, it creates that space of another person trying to create desperation in order to avoid energetic conversation. But that's why I keep on seeing that there's something frustrating but potentially restorational that's occurring for a lot of the energy in separation, because it's a reaffirmation that our standards do not erode in the space of time. They become energetically stronger. It's the conversation that we're able to energetically navigate that allows us to be able to set our own intention as it relates to that space of purpose. So everything I keep on seeing that's occurring within that modality, it's a lot of that, I keep on hearing, it's a lot of that continuation of the invested effort that allows something to be able to move into a space of productivity. So like I told you, a lot of that energy is potentially moving deeper into partnership right now. This brings us to a lot of the energy that's moving deeper into divine union. That's why I meant, do you notice, like I keep on hearing, for the energy in separation, it's the frustration that fortifies, because frustration is the observation of what is happening that allows one to feel the space of healing. This is why we often talk about the fact that like you're going to heal, but you're going to be annoyed as you do so. Annoyed as you do so, because it's the observation of something that's energetically frustrating that fortifies one's own sense of energetic direction. Now, for a lot of the energy that's moving deeper into divine union right now, this is again, it's having to work through the potential static outside of partnership. And I keep on hearing that some of that static is well-meaning static. Clarification between our Queen of Wands in its reversal in combination with our Three of Wands in its reversal. Can I get one card to clarify? Yeah, there's that Hierophant in its reversal. The Hierophant in its reversal is working through, I feel like the energy right now, like the energy moving deeper into divine union is working through well-meaning static. And what do we mean by well-meaning static? It's the observation or concern that another person brings forth as it relates to the expedition point of an energetic timeline. That is something that is energetically natural. But that's why I see that for a lot of those relationships, articulating the difference between moving something into a space of rapidness, moving something forward with more expedience because one feels so energetically strong about it, right? Versus experiences where one may have moved something into a space of like the speed by which one tries to do something out of a sense of desperation. I keep on hearing that there's a lot of the energy that's like clear. I keep on hearing they're clearing the energetic static via the healthy, restorative conversation. It's a lot of that articulation point that allows one to be able to do something in a better way. But it's frustrating because I keep on getting it's frustrating, even though, even at the same point, it's energetically amplifying. Now, continuing to get clarification, we've got 2 cards coming out right now for the energy deep within divine union, because this type of energy deep within divine union is the most frustrating. I'm just going to tell you right now, I would not be surprised if you're deep within divine union right now and you're feeling like the sense of like energetic pressure is what I keep on seeing. It's like the energetic pressure. It's the energetic pressure of a bunch of every single like planetary object in Aries that is retrograding in the space of that. It's like I would not be surprised if you say I feel pressure. Pressure about what? I don't know. It's like it's that type of energy. But that's why we see, there you go, with the 10. Wow, double, that's why we got double 10 cards here, right? The observation of working through energetic pressure, but not internalizing upon it. It's like you're not internalizing it, just recognizing that it's the kind of the vibe right now. I feel like the important thing that we're observing is not making sure that you're projecting that on to counterpart, because that space, like we talk a lot about this now, like the observation or the importance of being able to understand the energy that we're within is often the identification point of navigating through it instead of feeling like one is eliciting it or coming into it. So I keep on feeling like there's a lot of that energy that is working on like being more comprehensive, or working on the space of becoming more energetically comprehensive, specifically and particularly because it's the ability to refine and articulate upon what is energetically bothering the self, is what I keep on seeing. It's like it's the conversation in relationality of what one is trying to do in a better fashion or in a bigger way. Continuing to get clarification between our 7 of Cups in its upright in combination with our 6 of Wands in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our Strength card in its reversal. One of the things that when I keep on seeing, like working through this space, and I need to stress this right now, and this is why I was telling you that things were a little bit easier when Mercury was also retrograding. This is just, let this just be a lesson. Stop blaming all your problems on Mercury. Stop blaming all your problems on Mercury retrograding, because Mercury retrograde does not bring problems. It brings innovation. But sometimes it's the space by which we have to work through something that again, it's helping us identify the difference between a groove and a rut, helping us be able to do something with more impact. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the Mercury retrograde is because it was helping us, because when we have all of these planets that were effectively retrograding in Aries, there's a lot of that capacity of wanting to and then now we've got the Virgo energy on top of it, right? It's the space by which one is feeling the space of not being perfect, of wishing that one could do something in a better way, in being overly internalizing. These are all the things that those with like a lot of heavy Virgo placements have to work through. How does Virgo energy heal? Understanding that perfection is not a cardinal point. It is something that we strive for. It's something that we work towards. It's not something to be found. It is something to be built into, because the ability to move towards that space of perfection is what makes us perfect, but not the space by which we become, like, not the space by which we get mad at ourselves because we are not. And that's why I was saying that when Mercury was retrograding, it was a little bit easier to navigate this energy, because Mercury retrograding in Leo, with all of the energy just like retrograding in Aries, like Mercury in Leo is like calling over from the void and being like, have you tried putting a little compassion on it? And that's either the compassion towards the self, that's the compassion towards the situation. But you have to understand, compassion isn't niceness. Compassion is not niceness. Compassion is communicating passion. It is the ability to understand and articulate upon something why something is as important to us as it is, because our identification point of being able to articulate upon what we feel compassion for is what separates us from our baser instincts, right? It's the differentiation point between the ego and the higher self, because the ability to articulate, like the ability to feel the internal energetic urge, the planetary energy that gets the best of us, right? Being energetically reactive to it, versus compassion, which is the ability to observe what's energetically bothering us, to take that moment to be able, and not to internalize, but just a bit, not too much, to internalize and assess, that then allows us to energetically proceed forward. So for a lot of the energy doing that work right now, I feel like there's, like, I keep on seeing that that's the arrival point in terms of feeling the sense of energetic relief. But the relief that we're seeing or identifying is working through the context of being able to heal the self via the communication that one is able to bring forth in healthy partnership. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy, like that space, like I told you, that this is the culmination of a lot of those temperance relationships, because it's building into the ability to articulate and identify. And I keep on seeing the reason that these relationships are feeling so much, they're breathing a sigh of relief, is the observation of not just someone who is articulating that they were healing from their past, but then they're walking very firmly in the direction of their future, is what I keep on seeing. It's like, and that's what we talk about with the embodied manifestation. It's not just the articulation of it, it's moving in determination to it. This brings us into a lot of the energy that's moving deeper into divine union. Clarification between our Hierophant in its reversal in combination with our 10 of Cups in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through. Like, there you go. Confirmation with the clarification of the Temperance, right? Because the ability to, I keep on seeing, the difference between just like moving from place to place based upon one's own inclination versus being able to articulate upon the meaning of it. This is what I meant in relationality to a lot of the energy that's moving deeper into divine union. Having to navigate, I keep on hearing, having to navigate healthy static, if you will. Why is the energy moving deeper into divine union having to navigate energetically healthy static? Because it is the observation and the recognition of energy that may be coming towards. You have to remember, we talked a lot about the fact that some of these relationships are speeding up timelines. They're doing, I told you, there was a little bit of that surprise energy upon something. So for the energy to be able to articulate and almost like come into a space of inquiry in relationality to the rapidity that they're seeing within a partnership, this is the energy that is feeling energetically fortified to be able to articulate the difference about moving something with a lot of expediency into a place of determination, as opposed to working through something in a certain fashion that one is recognizing and identifying the experiences of the past where there may have been that expediency point, but more built upon or based upon a space of, I keep on getting a space of desperation or working to try to fix something. So there's a lot of the energy that's like fortifying through the static by being able to articulate upon the energetic health of the speeding up of a timeline. Now, this brings us into the energy that is deep within divine union. And that's why we see that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now, it's just working through the energetic intensity of an energy that is like that works through the frustration that fortifies the energetic direction. That's why it's like I feel like for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, it's working through, like I keep on hearing, it's working through the amplification of the sensitivity. And that's what I meant about making sure that you're not projecting that onto counterpart right now. Because it's like I keep on getting with like Jupiter and Cancer, it's like pin drop kind of energy, right? And then you've got a lot of this like Aries energy that's retrograding. So it's feeling intensity, right? Feeling very energetically vulnerable. And then you got the Virgo energy that makes you want to come into the space of taking something overly personally. But that's why when we're able to bring energetic compassion to things, we're able to find the space by which we're able to identify and recognize what feels productive. Clarification between our our 10 of wands in its upright in combination with our strength card in its reversal. Right there, we've got, there it is, the nine. It's like nine, it's like the 9 of swords, which and I need to point this out, like, especially with like the 9 of swords in its reversal. And I need to stress this too, because we were even seeing this heavily in yesterday's reading, right? Because we had a 10 of swords out. But like I keep on getting like the space by which one feels, like the space by which one feels a lot of that intensity, and then is able to, like, I keep on hearing, like, partition it into the space of having perspective, right? Like, again, understanding that the guidance point that we receive is often predicated upon the moon that we've had to help guide us through it. What was that moon in Aquarius saying to us? Right? What was the moon in Aquarius saying to us? Making sure that we have a healthy sense of perspective, being able to identify and articulate upon the perspective that we bring to situations or circumstances. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy doing that work, it allows for its own space of productivity, but it's a productivity with perspective that allows the ability to amplify and articulate what one is trying to do in a better way. Final card for today, between our Temperance card in its upright in combination with our 9 of swords in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our 9 of cups in its upright. I would definitely encourage you today, if you don't have an opportunity, like, make sure that if you're watching this, please go take a look at today's spread, because it's absolutely beautiful. Like from the space by which, like, as a reader, like this spread today is really beautiful, because it's the observation of being able to work through the identification point of bringing proportionality into things, right? Everything, and I got to tell you right now, and that's what we mean. Like this energy. This energy makes us feel like there's a lot of energetic pressure upon us, right? It feels like a lot of that energetic pressure. We ease pressure via communication. We ease pressure via being able to have energetic perspective upon things, right? Not feeling the observation or working through the intensity of the desire to want to over-internalize in energy like this is healed via the proportionality of being able to work through something. And I keep on getting, like, stepping back in the space of being able to, I keep on hearing, it's not, I keep on saying it's a stepping back, but it's not this, and I need to stress this because this is really important. It's not the stepping back into hermit energy is what I keep on seeing. It's the stepping back that allows one to articulate or refine upon something in a bigger fashion. I told you, it's like working through energetic comprehension. So I want you to kind of recognize that, and especially if it feels like, especially if this energy is having a very heavy impact on you, I'm going to say it again. It's okay to just work into the space of articulating and identifying what those needs are. Remember, Spirit's first directive to us is making sure that we prioritize the care of the self. And that's not energetically selfish. That is the space by which anything that we're trying to bring to ourselves is reciprocal. Because if it's something that we would eagerly give to another, it's not too much to ask. So make sure that I keep on hearing, like, make sure that you're navigating spaces compassionately, giving others, and I'm going to tell you right now, giving others the benefit of the doubt, not allowing one's own assumptions to fuel frustration or work you into the context of something that you're trying to do. Because I keep on seeing that's the one thing we have to be very conscientious about in this type of energy. I'm going to keep on telling you, do not start assuming things when there's retrograde periods, because when you assume things, you're working very much on, I keep on hearing, like, the ego wants to often assume things, right? The ego wants to come into the space of assuming things. But when we're able to bring compassion into things, we're able to amplify and articulate what the energetic direction is. So make sure that if you're working through this energy, you're navigating frustration with a sense of compassion. Remember, we are all going through it. Okay? We are all going through it. We are all doing the best that we can. We give each other that proportionality of understanding. And I even say, even the proportionality of understanding another person's frustration and having that adaptability point. Because I keep on seeing, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're working through something right now that frustrates you, but what used to devastate you, congratulations, you're on your healing journey. Okay, congratulations. Congratulations, you're on your healing journey. Because I'm seeing even now, for a lot of the energy in separation, working through the observation of an unhealthy energetic cycle, but being able to observe it and then amplify one's own force of intention. I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energy that's moving towards the manifestation goals by, again, understanding and recognizing. I keep on hearing it's not too much to ask of another if it's something that we would eagerly give of ourselves towards a situation. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energy, that I feel like there's a lot of energy in separation that is like healing from some kind of articulation point of the difference between selfish and reciprocal, which is the space by which, again, I keep on hearing like the message coming through in terms of saying it's not selfish to ask for something if it's something that you would eagerly offer another person. It's not, that is what an energetic standard is. So being able to articulate and define upon that is what's fortifying the direction of a lot of the energy moving deeper into divine union. While for a lot of the energy that I'm seeing that's moving, I keep on hearing for a lot of the energy right now that is building into relationship, I'm feeling like there's a lot of that context of feeling the energetic relief, potentially even articulating to one another through the energetic fear that they had in the space of articulating upon a past that they were working to heal from, versus the energetic arrival point of something coming back, but not letting it change one's own course of direction is what I keep on seeing. There's a lot of that invested intention that I told you that is predicating upon these relationships right now. And I keep on seeing that for a lot of that energy, it's like the relief, but then also the ability to articulate upon the energetic anxieties that one was facing at that time. While for a lot of the energy moving deeper into divine union, it's the same space. Like I can see the energy, right? Like working through the healthy static, which is the reason I keep on hearing the healthy static is potentially working through the context of another energetic concern as it relates to the moving of a timeline into a space of expediency, but then being able to relieve that via the explanation or articulation point of why what one is moving something with so much rapidity, because it feels so energetically healthy, not from a space of desperation. So I feel like there's a lot of that, like that's the energy, like literally like that's the energy moving deeper into divine union that's clearing static as they move as they go. While for a lot of the energy that's deep within divine union, this is what I meant in relationality to like it's giving me a lot of like little annoyances, like things that like wouldn't necessarily, and I told you, especially with like Scorpio moon energy, like little things, like it's a lot of that, like it's like the buildup of intensity of a lot of little things happening at once, but making sure that one is working into the space that you're not projecting it onto counterpart, right? Like working through the intensity of that in the space by one recognizes and amplifies that one is going through it together is what I keep on seeing. So the ability to kind of identify and recognize that, I keep on feeling like there's that amplification point, but there's something that's very important in relationality, that becoming energetically productive. Bottom of the deck on today's reading, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords energy. Let's talk a little bit about this like Knight of Swords energy, because the Knight of Swords energy that we're effectively identifying right now, I want to describe this. This is the retrograde, right? Like the thing about I need to stress this, the thing about the retrograde is, and I keep on, the thing about it is this is a very long retrograde cycle. Okay, I need to stress that. So typically a retrograde cycle in proportionality is something that we move through and we move back out of. This particular retrograde cycle is very long, which means it can have that tendency of like wearing away upon the self, right? It can create that space in relationality to just like the continuation of it that sometimes feels like it feels interminable. But one of the things that I want you to recognize, and this is why I'm like stressing this right now and making sure that you feel grounded, healthy and grounded in this type of energy, is we've got a lunation cycle coming up and we've got an eclipse season. Now, the thing we have to be conscientious about is eclipses are unpredictable because they don't carry a signature. They're just amplifiers. So the ability of working through the fact that we're going to be going through a retrograde, but then it feels like it energetically amplifies. That's why I keep on saying, if all you need to do right now is prioritize feeling stable within this energy, that's okay. It's like, that's okay. Because you want to be able to articulate and be able to recognize and identify and work through that force of intensity. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving these messages. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site, so I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the Tower card. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the star card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my Stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access, as a paid monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you a recap on everything we've studied prior to that class occurring. But if you wanted to catch up, now's a great time to join, because you got a few weeks ahead of you. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Stack, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, you will also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library archive. That is access to over 17 hours worth of material in an ever expanding library. You'll also have the option of receiving a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. I also post my Mystic Meditation articles there, which give you updates on what we've been experiencing energetically. I'll be releasing an article shortly and helping us to navigate through a lot of this intensity that we're experiencing with this heavy full moon energy. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my students that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings. You can purchase those per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again